Hello, my dear dreamers. Yesterday, I had the amazing opportunity to book the infamous Catacombs Tour at the Mission Inn Hotel. We had a very seasoned tour guide who guided our way through the tour. This was one of the lobbies that we all met up in. You can see the beautiful old murals that are painted on the windows. They have quite a few of them throughout the hotel. Now, I will give you a little backstory about the catacombs. Built by Frank Miller, their inn started as a small adobe guest house in 1876 and evolved into a grand resort by the early 20th century. This place became a hub for celebrities, politicians, and dignitaries. The catacombs beneath the Mission Inn were constructed during one of Miller's extensive expansions. These tunnels were supposedly designed to house his collection of art and antiques from his travels worldwide. Over the years, this catacombs became a subject of local lore. There has also been stories of hauntings and eerie experiences within these tunnels, adding to its unique mystery. For a little bit of backstory, the Mission Inn recently decided to open up the catacombs for a special Halloween tour. Now, it is open during November too. Some claim they're a part of an underground hideaway that led to Mount Rubidoux, but this has never been proven to be true and is likely false. For about 120 years, the Mission Inn has been the center port of Riverside and a host to US presidents, celebrities, and a number of seasonal and holiday functions. The owner, Frank Miller, was drawn from many historical design periods, such as revivals, influences, and styles. Some were Spanish Gothic architect, Mission Revival, Moorish Revival, Spanish colonial-style architect, and many more. Since influenced by so many styles, this creates a rather complicated and intricately built structure. The inn contains narrow passageways, exterior arcades, a medieval-style clock, and numerous patios and castle towers. The owner, Frank Miller, having been long gone since 1935, their inn was continued under the management of his daughter and son-in-laws. The tour guide also hands out some mini flashlights for us. I can imagine it will get quite dark in there. Now, our tour guide is about to tell us an interesting fact that lies up ahead.
Cloister Walk, and Frank Miller in 1905, when he had this whole wing built, it was very, very hot in here in Riverside. So he decided that he needed to go underground. And what ended up happening is he built around the whole perimeter of the hotel here this cloister walk, which stored and was a art gallery for all of his art that he collected from all over the world. And so what ended up happening is the guests, there's large alcoves that you'll see, and there was a table and a chair there for the guests to come down here and relax when it was hot in the summer here in Riverside. And there was other entrances to this area, and I'll show you once we get into the music room. This whole area originally was the boiler room, and now it's just used for storage for things for the hotel. As we walk through, you'll see that we have smooth bricks out here, but as we start to go inside, there's textured bricks. Those textured bricks were done by a mason that used them to build the mortuaries and mausoleums here in Riverside, because the style of brick that he had absorbed the moisture so that the bodies would last longer internment. And we're going to continue walking through here. Once you head here,
As you can see here, we all had to duck our heads from the low walkway, taking us into the tunnel. You can see a very dark hallway here that's dimly lit. Pretty creepy, huh? So far so good. The ambience is great. And the orange lit hallways gives off a spooky vibe. There were about 6 of us on this tour through the catacombs, so it wasn't too overcrowded and seemed just right. Here you can see a lone lit candle in this dark corner, but don't worry, the candles are fake. As we make our way further into the tunnels, we notice some biblical figurine statues too.
The hotel, when Frank Miller built this little area right here went to the jailhouse. And it was a hallway that went to the jailhouse. And Frank Miller, like the managers and the guards at the jailhouse, so what he did, since Frank was religious, he let the guys off Saturday and Sunday so that they could go to church. But what he did is he took the prisoners and brought them over here and watched them for the weekend. Well, the prisoners got fed really good food. And when we leave, I'll show you the cells that the prisoners were put in.
He tells us more about the owner, Frank Miller, who would release the prisoners from the jail that used to be there, and he would take them to church.
How long did that go on? Use of that?
Across the street. About.
Oh, I meant how long was it used?
Oh, that's a really good question.
After this, he leads us to a different pathway. We pass by what seems to be another path, but it has been sealed off. We wondered if this was the secret pathway to Mount Rubidoux. Coming up, we see a room guarded by pillars with a table in the middle, chairs, and an old lantern light. It seems to be some sort of seance room. I also noticed that there were mirrors placed on each wall in the room next to each other. I wonder what those were for.
First naval orange tree to Riverside. Well, she used to have seances. She was a clairvoyant. And she felt that she'd never had them here. But she had visitors come and she would talk to them around this room here. And a Eliza Tibbetts went to a seance up north and died at the seance table. And they say that her spirit is here at the Mission Inn. She came back. This room specifically was used for Pope Pius VI wax statue and his, his ministers, his other priests. Little alcoves in here were the life-size.
He explains that one of the owners here would do her seances. Once she passed, it is said that her spirit came back to the Mission Inn.
Bulb lighting, and they were lit to show the patrons here at the hotel, the guests, the statue. This wall is not here. This was all open. So again, the guests could come down here whenever they wanted and feel free to roam around and sit. There's some lounge chairs around here. And
We leave the seance room and continue making our way further into the dark catacombs. This empty space right here used to be where Joseph, Mary, and Jesus statue used to be. They too have long been removed.
And there was Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Here, guess what they were?
You can see here that it gets quite dark. At this point, you can only see our flashlights.
Summertime, it was cool and everybody was all dressed in their nice shirts and jackets and beautiful dresses and just lounging. What it was like. Phenomenal. These poles were originally mustard color, not light yellow. They were mustard color, and these walls around were white originally. And again, there's
Was it always this dark?
Is it always this dark?
Yeah.
Was it?
Especially in houses like this.
And we can continue.
You can hear in the video where a lady asks, "Is it always dark in here?" which tickled me because we all knew the obvious answer.
And if you look down this hallway is the continuation of the cloister walk or the catacombs. And this all still has alcoves for paintings and that. It veers off when it gets to the end, it goes to the left. It goes to this large dining room with this huge fireplace about this big in there. And Frank Miller used to entertain people in there that were of civic and international prominence. And right now it's used as the wine cellar for the hotel. And on one of the walls is probably a 25-foot hand-carved marble of the Roman Empire.
Wow.
Can't go see it. Just part of the wine cellar is really guarded.
Only the one.
Is that from the original Miller's construction of it? When did that, this Roman
That's a mystery.
mural?
When did it happen?
Or when was it made?
It was in 1910 when this was all started underneath. So that's part of the construction of the catacombs around the hotel, or the cloister walk.
Was it always used as like a wine cellar? Is that
No,
why it's
it was
Roman motif?
At this point, we neared the end of the Catacombs Tour. All in all, it was a short and simple tour, filled with some knowledgeable facts. As we head out of the catacombs, we take off our construction hats and place them back on the table. We were all relieved to go back inside again. We are now headed through the lobby area and off to our next destination. In 1992, Dwan Dobers purchased the Missionman's Hotel and Spa and restored many of the property's architectural Spanish mission-style features, undertaking modernization of the hotel's facilities. Next up, we entered this beautiful old banquet hall that looked like it was ready to serve a guest full of people. The painting that hung on the walls were ancient paintings dating back to the 14th century. We make our way into this beautiful red room with the 600-year-old ceiling made from Persia.
And it has a ceiling that's hand-carved Persian, and it's like 600 years old. Frank purchased it when he was in Persia. And in here, this room here is a little mini chapel. And what's interesting about this is We like the doors to squeak.
It's cool.
It's theatrical.
Part of it.
Here holds 16 people if you want to have a private ceremony. But what's unique about this room, the stained glass window that's against the wall is a signed Tiffany stained glass window.
Wow.
And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see L. Tiffany signature. So the brides and grooms, before they got married and after they got married, they would come in here and sign all their nuptial paperwork and then go into the ball.
Is that a tabernacle window?
Uh-huh.
Entering this beautiful courtyard area, I was reminded of my first visit here a few years ago. Back then, I was the only person on the tour and guided by a lovely old woman from the UK. I also remembered this old chapel we were about to enter. It was used for many weddings. Exiting the old cathedral, we made our way to the beautiful private staircase that was not accessible to the public. Here, you can see thousands of lights hanging from the ceiling above. I, of course, made sure to capture every detail. This room was one of my personal favorites. It was an Asian-inspired room, filled with ancient Chinese lights from 500 years ago. A large Buddha statue that was rescued from a Shaolin temple in China now sits front and center. Now, we are on the very top of the Mission Inn, and we are surrounded by thousands of Christmas lights. Our tour guide takes us through another courtyard, which has a water pool fountain. You know me, I love the water. We see a beautiful laid-out bouquet of roses. Lastly, we are taken to the very top of the staircase, where we saw the hanging lights from earlier. Truly one-of-a-kind view. This is the very end of our full tour of the Mission Inn. I'm so very grateful to have been able to visit this place. Our tour guide was informative and straight to the point. I will definitely visit this beautiful landmark again. As you well know, this is located in the heart of downtown Riverside, which I am very familiar with. I have lived in Riverside County for a very long time, so I am more than familiar with this area. I'm very grateful to have shared this video with you all, my dear dreamers. Thank you all for watching this video. There will be more videos coming for Vlogmas season, so stay tuned. Yours truly, Kalypso. Bye.